coming up on show 405, Elon Musk drops 2 bombshells via Twitter. I'm sure you've heard about them so far. We'll dissect those in a moment. We talk the new ABB FIA Formula E concept livery from Mercedes. They'll be entering the series very soon for the next season. And we talk not 1, not 2, but 3 EV hypercars. Well, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are in the world, even if you're in a hotel room like I am at the moment. And so I've been on my travels a bit recently. Last week was holiday vacation. Today, the podcast comes to you from a not very luxurious hotel, I'd like to add. However, the important thing is we're still making a show and I've still got all the news you need to know. To save you time looking through the EV stories, thank you as always to the team at myev.com for helping me make this show. They are building the world's first marketplace all about buying and selling EVs in the USA because, you know, let's face it, lots of people this year might want to go electric and maybe that'll be a used car, maybe that'll be people upgrading. It's a great website to use, by the way, myev.com. All right, let's get into the first 2 bombshells that Elon Musk dropped via Twitter. And it wasn't even, frankly, that much of a description that he gave each announcement. It was pretty much just a one-line on both of them, but they were huge announcements. Admittedly, not as big as the $35,000 Model 3, which arguably, trying to avoid hyperbole here, but arguably was the whole reason that Tesla existed as a company, to get to a mainstream, affordable, long-range electric car. Anyway, moving on. Firstly, we heard that the Model Y will be unveiled in 10 days' time. March the 14th, confirming that the Model Y, it's a crossover car. If you didn't know, by the way, if you're new to the podcast and you're wondering what all this fuss is around, it's the electric crossover that will be built on the same underpinnings, the same platform as the Model 3. It's highly anticipated simply because that SUV/crossover style is so popular, particularly here in Europe as well. Look, we also love a saloon car, what you might call a sedan car, and that's a very popular car here as well. But I think most markets, I'm no automotive expert, by the way, in terms of getting deep and dirty with the stats, but most markets just love SUVs at the moment, crossovers as well. And so some are saying that as popular as the Model 3 is, the Model Y could be even more so. Largely based on the Model 3, says Eric Loveday for InsideEVs.com today. And now that's a good thing, because it means the cost to develop should be on the lower side. Now this has been around a bit of a circle, actually, because there was a time when Elon made the announcement that the Model Y wouldn't be based on the Model 3, that it would have its own development, much like the X, which is a big SUV, didn't follow the S, which is a big saloon, big sedan. However, I think maybe somebody had a quiet word in his ear and he came to the conclusion it would be a very good idea to base the new Tesla on the existing one. And so yes, something upwards of 80+% bits of the car will be the same on the Y as the X. It means the cost to develop it should be lower. Doesn't necessarily mean a lower price tag though. The newest rumours, combined with information from Elon Musk, indicate the base price could be £40,000. But again, that base price is a price that very few people pay because you get a bit click happy in the design studio. And why not adding options? We don't think that the smallest Model 3 battery pack would be available on the Y, and we don't know that for certain that it will or won't be. Previous rumours indicated the Model Y would also be a 3-row crossover. That seems a bit questionable too. Do you really need to fit 7 people into a small crossover car? Probably not. I'll put a full link to Inside EVs in the show notes. The other big announcement that we had, and again, this is getting a little bit only interesting for those that own Teslas or that think they might buy one one day, and that is what is known as Tesla Supercharger version 3. This was due to be out at the end of last year. It was at the investor meeting last year, I think it was there, where Elon Musk said, right, we got the version 3 of the Supercharger and it'll be out before the end of the year. And of course that was a little bit optimistic, but, it's only missed it by a couple of months. And so we know as well from Reddit, although the story came from Reddit, it was corroborated pretty well, actually, after that, that technicians were upgrading the internals of Tesla superchargers ready for V3, and now we know that it's going to be coming Wednesday. New, higher-powered supercharger, new design as far as I know. Of course, here in the Europe, the CCS combo plug will be added to it as well to charge those Tesla Model 3s that are on sale. And of course, it will enhance the long-distance travel capabilities of Tesla vehicles because it will get more juice into the car. You can suck more juice down the cable with Supercharger version 3 than you can with the current ones. However, the actual outputs of the units not yet known. We know that the preparatory work is being done, or has been done, in many places by those Tesla engineers. We do suspect that the Model 3s as inside EVs will benefit the most from the new superchargers. That is really interesting stuff, and more good news for those who own a Tesla in terms of long-distance driving. Okay, so from a car that you can buy at the moment to a car which you can't yet, the Volkswagen ID Buggy. It's being shown off at the Geneva Motor Show on the evening prior to the first press day. The concept car is celebrating its world premiere at the Volkswagen Group Night. The ID Buggy, it's obviously zero emissions because it's based on the pure electric platform, the MEB platform, which all of Volkswagen's electric cars will be, and that famous 1960s beach buggy style is being carried on through, but updated for 2019, or maybe 2020, or maybe 2021, whenever we finally see it. So, kicking off is just to remind you, VW ID, then we get the ID Buzz, that's the van. Because I forget what the Buzz is the van, the Croz is the SUV, that's right, CROZZ, they love their Zs, and the Vision, yeah, 2 double Zs in there, that's the saloon car. The new ID Buggy is the 5th concept car we've seen based on the MEB, and Volkswagen's used to confirm the multifaceted nature of the platform, really. On tomorrow's podcast, we'll be talking about somebody else using the platform, not VW, but that's a story I'm writing for tomorrow. Hey, looking forward to the next Formula E race, not too far away now. Mercedes has unveiled the concept livery for the ABB FIA Formula E concept car ahead of its entry into the electric championship. Now, the Formula E championship spans a year, so we call it the 1920 season. It's a bit like the football, soccer season. It spans Christmas and New Year. Not too much happens before. Most of the races are in one calendar year, but maybe one, maybe two next year will be at the end of this year. In a video released on Twitter, the Mercedes Motorsport boss, Toto Wolff, hailed the manufacturer's achievements in the DTM, which it left at the end of last season, didn't it? Ahead of joining Season 6 of Formula E. Reports motorsport.com, Mercedes is understood to have received its first test car from the Formula E supplier Spark to allow it to progress with its 15-day manufacturer testing program. Toto Wolff said this, and I quote, "The potential of Formula E is enormous. With each day of progress in our preparations for the first race at the end of this year, our anticipation for the new challenge grows. The competition with Porsche, Audi and BMW and all the other great manufacturers will be a special one. I'm looking forward to it." He says, "We look at this new chapter with excitement and would be happy if every one of you supports us in this thrilling journey." Good news. Looking forward to more big-name manufacturers joining Formula E. And let's finish off with 3 stories of 3 hypercars. And this is really only, if you've won the lottery territory or your end-of-year bonus was particularly generous. The brand new Piche Automotive. Piche Automotive presents a concept of its new electric sports car. It's called the Mark Zero. It's being shown off at Geneva. It's the first of the cars they plan to launch over 3 years, says Motor1.com. The Piche Mark Zero is a pure electric. It's a Grand Tourer. It's got a long wheelbase. It'll fit plenty of people in comfort. The concept car has 3 motors, one on the front, for 201 horsepower, 2 on the back for 201 horsepower each. Acceleration 0 to 62, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 3.2 seconds, and a top speed of electrically limited 155 miles an hour. That's the first one. Let's take it up a notch. The next one is the Rimac C2, and this is a very special supercar. Enthusiasts have a lot of reason to get excited about automakers embracing electrification, as plenty of zero-emission machines have been announced with huge specs, and a case in point is the Rimac C_2. Nearly a year ago now at Geneva, they showed it off. That bonkers is the only way that Adrian Padenot for Inside EVs could describe it. Bonkers car. Not going into the details exactly yet of how they've upgraded the powertrain, but they have. They've made even more development over the last year. All we know for now, it's definitely got 4 electric motors. It's definitely got almost 2,000 horsepower. And it's going to do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1.85 seconds. Wow. Top speed, 186 miles an hour. No, sorry, 0 to 186. Not a figure we normally give. 0 to 186 is 11.8 seconds. From now to when 11.8 seconds ticks by, which is probably in about 5 seconds' time, you'll be doing 186 miles an hour, probably by about now. I've not timed it. Right, and the final one is Pininfarina. Pininfarina's Battista car. As promised last year, they're taking on the Rimac with the Battista, a 1900 horsepower hypercar, the most powerful road-legal car ever designed and built in Italy. According to Engadget, suffice to say the car's going to be quick, top speed of 217, 0 to 62 in, all they'll say is under 2 seconds. The target might not care too much if the 120 kilowatt hour battery is giving you plenty of range. You might not want to be doing too many of those 0 to 62 runs, because that's going to run the battery down pretty darn quickly. So if you've got any comments on stories on today's podcast, please do send them in. You can email me hello@evnewsdaily.com. Get onto the YouTube comments if you want to. Send me a note. Thank you very much to everyone who's answered question of the week. It's been really busy, early as well, and it's an interesting question set by myev.com. Our question of the week is this: how do you feel about Tesla's moving to online-only sales? Do you want to test drive a car before you buy it, or do you think that their returns policy is generous enough? What about if you have to arrange finance to get a car and then you decide, I don't want it? Well, how do you unsign all the documents? Give me your thoughts. Email me hello@evnewsdaily.com. Thank you to 197 patrons of the podcast who keep me going. There are 404 previous shows online for free. Tomorrow we should be back on the normal microphone and back in the studio. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast on location. Come and say hi on the socials over the next 24 hours on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter by searching EV News Daily. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow. And always remember, there's no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.